Hello and welcome to another episode of Motor Drive. Today we are discussing the evolution of Koenigsegg, an award-winning car manufacturer from Sweden producing some of the highest performing cars, constantly innovating and pushing the boundaries in the automotive world. The company was founded on August 12, 1994 by a young Christian von Koenigsegg, who was just 22 at the time. His dream was to build the world's greatest super sports car. Their first vehicle was born just 2 years later, as the concept CC was driven at an event in Anderstorp race track. The first time the manufacturer's vehicle had been driven in public, Koenigsegg offered renowned racing drivers the chance to test out the CC at the track, in which they returned with amazement of the car's outstanding performance. This tactic helped introduce the brand to potential buyers with the approval of trustworthy drivers. The first production vehicle. In September 2000. The CC8S production prototype was debuted at Paris Motor Show. The car was eventually built for production in 2002 and delivered to the Geneva Motor Show in 2003. It featured a clean and minimalistic aesthetic, styling and philosophy, which has stayed true to the company to this day. It is still one of the rarest models ever due to only 6 being produced. The CC's V8 engine saw Koenigsegg receive its first entry into the Guinness World Records for the most powerful engine in a series-produced car. It produced a massive 655 horsepower, but was just a sneak peek of what was to come. The CCR. Produced between 2004 and 2006, it was the new improved version of the CC8S, featuring upgrades to the brakes, wheels, chassis, suspension and body, with a much more aggressive look to it. The engine produced more power with a twin supercharger, which produced an outrageous 806 horsepower. This output of course smashed the world record for the most powerful engine in 2004. A year later the company took the CCR to Italy to attempt a new record, the world's fastest car. After a week of attempts the CCR broke the record on the final day, setting a record of 387.86 km per hour. The CCX. Koenigsegg kept the fundamentals traditional again with this model. However, the vehicle was designed with worldwide homologation in mind. The car was built meeting all global emissions and safety standards and was slightly larger in size. The CCX was the first Koenigsegg to be sold within the US market. In 2006, Top Gear invited Koenigsegg to showcase what the CCX could do. The track record was smashed and remained unbeaten for the following 7 years. It also set a top speed record that day, reaching 196 miles per hour. The CCXR. The world's first green supercar. Launched in 2007. Koenigsegg installed a flex fuel sensor which allows the car to run on a multitude of fuel mixes. The higher octane E85 fuel boosted the car's output to an unheard of 1018 horsepower. In 2008, the CCXR set a new benchmark reaching 0 to 300 km per hour, completing the run in 29.2 seconds. A record that many modern supercars struggle to compete with. Koenigsegg released 2 more variants in 2009. First came the Trevita, which featured a special white carbon fiber weave, especially created for this model. Trevita translates to the 3 whites in relation to the manufacturer's intention to produce 3 models, however only 2 were ever built. Next came the CCXR Special Edition. This range was commissioned to see off the CC range in true style. Featuring a double F1 wing, all-clear carbon bodywork, a Jarrah-style rear wheel venting, revised aerodynamics and Koenigsegg's first ever paddle shift transmission. With again only 2 models being produced, it remains one of the brand's rarest vehicles and a proper bridge between the old and new style models. The Agera. Debuted in 2010 at the Geneva Motor Show. The Agera was created to move the brand into new territory. The first models came with an insane 960 horsepower and won Top Gear's Hypercar of the Year. 12 months on, the Agera R was born. This engine could run on any fuel from 95 octane to E100 biofuel. The power output jumped to a massive 1140 horsepower on biofuel. In 2011 Koenigsegg set the Agera R on a mission of beating the CCX 300 km record. It smashed an insane 8 seconds off the predecessor's record. Performance that was truly ahead of its time. Next came the Agera S. This one was built for markets where biofuels were not readily available. With new engine mapping and hardware, it became the first Koenigsegg to output over 1000 horsepower mark on regular 95 octane pump gasoline. The S also debuted carbon fiber wheels, becoming the first manufacturer to offer them on factory-built cars. The 1-1. The first production car in history to feature a 1-to-1 power-to-weight ratio. 100 kg was shaved off the already lightweight Agera R, which brought the weight down to 1360 kilograms. This weight was matched with a 1360 horsepower twin-turbo V8. This is potentially the most extreme Koenigsegg produced to date. claiming multiple lap records in a number of races. The 1-1 was of course put to the 300 km/h test in 2015, which it smashed over 3 seconds off the Agera's record. The Regera, announced at Geneva in 2015. The new Revolution features 3 electric motors combined with a twin-turbo V8 producing over 1500 horsepower. All of that power is sent directly to the rear wheels due to the Regera having no gearbox. Koenigsegg designed their own system called Direct Drive, which utilizes electric motors to propel the car at takeoff, with the V8 engine kicking in around 30 km and beyond. Koenigsegg built 80 models over a period of 5 years. The Regera set a new 0 to 400 km record in 2019, beating the previous record set by the Agera RS by 1.8 seconds. The Agera RS, also announced in Geneva alongside the Regera, Koenigsegg took everything they learned from previous models including the Extreme 1-1 and tuned it back a touch to deliver a more comfortable version of their track monster. The RS produced a whopping 1160 horsepower. A final limited edition Agera was announced in 2016, with 3 models produced. The Agera Final Edition is based on the RS, but offers complete customization of the vehicle, with owners able to specify any equipment from the Koenigsegg options list completely free of charge, as well as the chance to work with the manufacturer to develop bespoke aerodynamics. A true expression of the Agera philosophy. A year on, the Agera RS achieved 5 new world records. The RS was crowned for being the fastest, most powerful, and attaining the highest top speed for a production vehicle. The Jesko, revealed in 2019 and named after father of company owner Christian. It inherits the same stance as the Agera RS. A track-focused, road-legal car for those seeking the peak of performance. The Jesko sports a redesigned 5-liter twin-turbo V8 with power outputs as high as 1600 horsepower on biofuel. Equipped with a revolutionary 9-speed transmission. In 2020 Koenigsegg unveiled the Jesko Absolute as the fastest Koenigsegg that will ever be produced. Time will tell the true figures on this beast.